Hello and welcome to the Box Office Buddies podcast. I'm Dan. I'm joined by Jonathan
It's me.
and Faceless.
Hello.
And let's just jump right into this box office because we all want to get to the big one this week. So at number 10 this week, we have Disclosure Day, adding another 1.35 million, down 60% this week. Probably affected quite heavily by the big one. 114.6 million domestic, 121.3 million international, for a 235.9 million worldwide haul on a $115 million budget. This is pretty okay.
It's a decent showing.
How this movie was looking at first, it was like, with the reception it's getting, this is going to hit 100, right? And then, it passed 115, and it's almost at 115, but you know what I mean. It's a respectable run, all things considered, especially when we look at the other films that have come out. And at the end of June and into July, we see that some of those openings makes it look a lot better, and this is the last time we'll be seeing Double D here in the top 10. Number 9 is Supergirl, 1.48 million in its its fourth weekend, down 61% from last weekend, 69.91 million domestic, 51.2 million international, for a grand total of 121.11 million worldwide. 170 million budget. I think it's safe to say here it's not making to 130. It's not going to make Blue Beetle numbers. This is not going to get to Blue Beetle. This is just a testament to just how fragile the state is for superhero movies if you don't have an Avengers or Spider-Man in your title. Overall, this is a disaster, of course, that sure, maybe someone could have seen that this was not gonna do well, but I don't think no one really saw it to this level. And I don't think there's too much else to say about that.
I mean, even like the worst performing Marvel movies don't really hit these numbers. I mean, like what? The Marvels made like 200 something million. Like
Yeah, made the 84 domestic, like made over 200 worldwide.
this isn't even gonna crack 130.
Shit from a butt. That's what this is.
This is just sad. Nobody cared. Nobody cared. It was too soon. At number 8, we got Obsession at 2.4 mil with a 38% drop. That brings the domestic total to 258.39 mil. The international total at 183.74 mil. Worldwide, this is looking at 442.13 million. 750K. They made it on that. Universal bought it for 15. Insane numbers. It's still here. It's still fucking here. It's gonna be here next week. There's probably 2 more at this point.
Just another update on the multiplier, just because last week it was like around 14.7. It's actually crossed 15 now. It's 15.02. So it is made 15 times its domestic opening weekend domestically. But moving on to number 7, we have July 4th Slop, continuing its run. Young Washington at 3.58 million, down 48%. It's now at 40.92 million domestic, 9,000 international, for 40.93 million worldwide on a $20 million budget. So it's doubled its budget.
It's all right. I'm sure they're happy with it.
It's done okay since 4th of July.
Considering that most Angel Studios movies kind of just like fall off a cliff, this is a decent result.
Number 6 is The Invite, which made 3.91 million this weekend, down 34% last weekend, for a 15.02 million domestic total, 5.5 million international, for a 20.52 million worldwide total. Now, it should be noted that gained 500 theaters this weekend domestically, and it went down just a little bit, but luckily this has all the juice. At 20 million is pretty much it's locked in, and I don't know how much it'll go beyond that, but it'll at least do 20 million for ultimately a pretty decent run.
It looks like they bought it for like over 12 million. This is I mean, considering it's still got a little bit of gas in the tank, this is a pretty good success. I mean, number 5, Evil Dead Burn, 4.73 million, 65% drop. It's a 23.88 domestic total, 26.84 international total, bringing the worldwide total to 50.72 million on a $20 million budget. This is fine. It's a little disappointing, but it's fine.
It still has yet to cross Evil Dead Rise's opening of 24.5 million. Yeah, that's a noticeable drop off. Like it's still like cheap enough where it's like that's fine, but like I think Wrath should do better, but just because it's don't put like a big like unless you're like The Conjuring, I wouldn't risk like Evil Dead is still a relatively niche franchise with like most people. I think putting it in the dead heat of summer was a bit of a miscalculation.
I think it absolutely was.
At least it's 2.5x its budget now, which is decent enough.
I think it's going to perform a little differently, but this kind of reminds me of just how like Lee Cronin's The Mummy did, like all things considered.
Looks like probably should cross Lee Cronin's The Mummy because it needs like 5 million.
It should do it domestic. I don't think international. I think domestic it will have no problem doing that.
Yep. So number 4 this week is El Minions and Monsters, 13.6 million, down 36%. It's at 136.39 million domestic, 222.06 million international for a 358.45 million worldwide haul on an $85 million budget. So even though it's disappointing, it's still made a good amount of money. They're still saying bellow to profit.
This is not a bomb. A disappointment at worst.
And at least it's a good movie as well. Yeah, I'm glad to see it do well. I wish it did as well as the other ones, but
There's a lot of shit out right now. Maybe just a little too much Minions.
too much family movies in the same area.
We got 3 at the same time. Little crazy.
Number 3, Toy Story 5, 13.76 million weekend, down 28% for a 429.88 million domestic total. 527.66 million international for a 957.54 million worldwide total. A 275 million budget. 1 billion is very imminent, and luckily, I think it's in a much better spot now since now it's ahead of Minions and Moana didn't do anything to it. So we're I think it's going to perform just fine for the rest of the summer.
Good job. Toy Story.
But guys, what about the Minecraft curse?
Bro, the Minecraft curse is not real. Maybe just the movies were just not right, but no, this is definitely gonna be the. Is that the biggest movie since? It's the biggest movie since like what, like just Deadpool?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, Deadpool and Wolverine, yeah. Or maybe how big was Wicked?
Oh yeah, there's yeah Wicked. Okay, yeah Wicked, but yeah, biggest movie since Wicked, which is kind of nuts.
And number 2, we got Moana. 17.94 million. That's a 58% drop. That's not good for a movie like this. 81.02 million domestic total. 96.31 million international total, bringing our worldwide total to 177.33 million. That's higher than Supergirl's budget. Good job. Unfortunately, this movie's budget is 250 million. Nobody gaff. Nobody gaff.
Number of reasons. I'm sure I don't want to ever just regurgitate the reasons because I'm sure everyone's talked about it. Like, but I mean, for in terms of holds, for movies that didn't open that like in like the high 30 range, honestly, like compared to Supergirl, I mean that's a relatively normal hold. It just like this is a pretty normal summer hold. It just like if this opened to like 90, if this opened to like 90, like people were like probably thinking it was. This would be like, okay, whatever, and then it's gonna leg out just fine. But the problem is, like, I mean, next weekend it'll probably be okay, but and then after that, it's Spider-Man, which is just gonna take everyone away. Everything except Odyssey might be just cooked.
May I think Toy Story will maybe fare a little better.
Minions, Moana, everything else. Supergirl, I wouldn't be surprised if it dropped like 90%.
At number one this weekend, we have the Odyssey. To nobody's surprise, 123.5 million domestic opening weekend. Very, very big. Biggest live action opening weekend of 2026. 140.3 million international opening weekend for a worldwide haul of 263.8 million. All on a $250 million budget, which it's over the production budget already. A lot of these films wish they could be over the production budget in the first week. I think his biggest worldwide opening before this was The Dark Knight Rises, 249 million back in 2012. So this is even bigger than that.
This is cleaning a billion. This is cleaning it. I know this was one of the ones that was like kind of in the air. Like, will it do it? It could. Will it actually do it? It's fucking cleaning it, bro.
Yeah, like if this opened to like 80, 90, it would be like, oh, maybe it will, maybe it won't. But it's like, oh yeah, no, this is totally, this is definitely happening, and reception's great.
7.5 million people in America, North America, watched this movie this weekend, which is a large chunk. It is bigger than the amount of people that watched Oppenheimer in its opening weekend. That was 5.9 million, so pretty big. 1.6 million more. So 53% of the gross was from premium screens. This is why we need more premium screens. IMAX 70mm was 4%. Just FYI, I'm pretty sure it was showing on like 41 70mm screens. I'm not sure if that was in the US or like in the world.
41 worldwide. 25 of them are in the US.
Yeah, and that is screens, not cinemas. So like, obviously, it was showing in a lot more screens than like 3,000.
There's 9 in Canada as well, so that's part of the
So you said so that would make about 30 in North America, right? 30 IMAX 70mm screens.
it'd be 34.
That would be a per theater average of 145,294 just from the 70mm screens.
Regular IMAX was 24%. Regular 70mm was 7%, and Dolby was 4%. So big chunks of the premium screens there from IMAX and regular 70mm. And just normal 70mm because the amount of screens is so low. This is the 5th A cinema score for Nolan. Basically just the Oppenheimer and Dark Knight trilogy. And then this as well. Some of the reasons that people saw it, 51% because he's a household name, saw it for Nolan, and 44% for the cast. There is a lot of big names in the cast. That makes a good amount. Slightly male movie, 50% Caucasian, but that's not as male as like some of the other movies we've seen this year. So that's a good amount. Good amount of mayonnaise. 24% Latino and Hispanic, 12% Black, 9% Asian American, 59% male, which again kind of makes sense for this type of movie, and 25 to 34 was about 30% of the gross, the demographics. Gen Z, like bordering Gen, the one before ZX, I guess, like a big fan, big fans of the Odyssey.
I think there was a sizable amount under 25 as well. I want to say.
I think before we, because like we've talked about the numbers now, before we go into anything else, because I think anything else will be just like quality wise. Let's jump straight into the review portion, because I think most of what else we have to say, other than like it's probably going to make $1 billion, is to do with the quality of the movie. Faceless. What is your movie this week? I wonder.
I see Odyssey. Yeah, I might as well just keep the discussion going while the iron's hot. I usually whenever I see something like there's something that has like mass acclaim, I'm talking like a couple movies last year, like say One Battle After Another, Weapons, movies that I thought were amazing. People thought that like people did overhype them a little bit. Like, and I was having this about this with a friend. Like, I still love those movies, but people were talking about them like they were like the second coming. And I was, when you go in, I was like, that didn't quite live up to what everyone was saying, but it was still great. I can't say the same about the Odyssey. I thought the whole time my booty cheeks were clenched to the seat. I was so locked in. What Nolan does, especially with how he mixes his different elements in the movie with those effects, creates something I think you can only describe as magical. It creates this wondrous sensation of like almost like, oh my god, how do they even do that? But I don't, I like, part of me doesn't even want to know. Like I want to just keep the magic of it, the intrigue. You're constantly in this world that's bigger than you, where the gods, and I know that in the original like poem that the gods are very present like physically. That's not really the case here. But I think that enhances it for me. You know that how powerful these gods are, just like, invoking their name is like a big deal. So then when you get to see their power, you don't see them, but you see their power. You feel how powerful they are just by even not seeing them. And I think by not seeing them, it creates this like imagination in your head, just how big and powerful they are. What Nolan does here with the camera, I mean, you got Ludwig's score, with the actors, everyone is giving it their all, and you can feel like this is the movie that Nolan has like been building to the point where it honestly feels like this like would be like his last movie kind of deal. Like I could see a world where like this was his last movie. We know it's not going to be, knock on wood, but absolute this is, I think, just a masterclass of everything from direction to writing to acting. I don't know how he did it. I felt so it felt like I was seeing a movie that's like this is like what people talk about when they're like the movies. This is one of those movies. This is a very special film, very powerful, very magical, very intriguing. I think it cements like Nolan's just all of his strengths, and it just shows how much he's say like just learned about himself as a filmmaker. You compare something like this to something he made like 20 years ago, say even like Batman Begins. You see him like, coming into his form, and then here you see him just at his prime, like just unrestrained, firing on all cylinders. He is going to go down as one of the most influential and one of the greatest filmmakers of all time. And this is only cementing that and not detracting from that. So, in other words, this is absolutely my favorite movie of the year so far. I'd be surprised if it doesn't end up in the top 3. God, yeah, what a picture.
I have a hard time believing anything's gonna beat this. Honestly, it's just there's really nothing like it. It is he did it again somehow. Just consistently defies all expectations.
He defied the gods.
I had my doubts going into this one, and I cannot fucking wait to go see it again. I'm gonna go see it in IMAX this Saturday, and I'm honestly gonna try to see it in 70 millimeter as well. Not IMAX 70 millimeter, but just regular 70 millimeter. I'm gonna try to do that the next week. And like beyond, I feel like I'm just speechless about this movie in general. I like not in a million years expected this to like blow me away this much.
Yeah, it's an incredible movie, really. But yeah, I think basically everyone in the movie is incredible. Benny Safdie is, bro. I think he was aura farming until he like kind of he takes off the thing at one point. I'm like, okay, you should have kept it on. To be honest, you were aura farming better with it on.
Yeah, no. When you never see his face, but when he takes off his helmet and you see his hair, I'm like, okay.
Robert Pattinson, especially in this, is amazing. I think
Grab the spears! Grab the spears!
he's a little prick in this.
A lot of standouts. Elliot Page has like a very powerful role in the film. The cope has been very funny, and people are starting to people are starting to say that like they believe that AI is like buying up seats, and people are just genuinely going in droves to see this because they don't care. They don't care about this like basement dwelling behavior, and it's amazing to see because it deserves so much. It deserves everything it's got coming to it.
Hey, go on and big up Homer for like, writing this movie, like being the original writer on this movie. His last movie, Epic the Musical, was his movie before that, The Return with Ray Fiennes.
Good job, Homer.
Good job, Homer.
Homer let the barks out.
Do we have anything else to say about the Odyssey other than it's literally like one of the best films of the year so far? Big Travis Scott.
Or
Okay, so that's the Odyssey. One of the biggest releases of the year so far. I might go next. I watched Nirvana, the band, the show, the movie. I didn't think I'd be able to be fair. There was an independent cinema showing it near me, and I decided, fuck it, I'm gonna go and watch it. And of the Matt Johnson movies the other Matt Johnson movie I've seen Blackberry. I do like it better than Blackberry. I also like it better than Friendship. Now, I think both of those movies are still very good, obviously. I just think this is very funny, I think. It's very silly as well, which I enjoyed. I I think Matt Johnson's very good in it, but I think the standout for me is more Jay McCarroll. I think he has a lot more to do really in terms of like his character. I'm not gonna spoil anything, obviously. I know it has been out for a while. Yeah, he gets to be a bit of a, a dick sometimes. There's a lot of funny bits as well, like when something happens in a movie theater. I don't know how much I can say.
It's one it's like very much benefited by a blind watch for the most part.
Something about the movie theater, and he's in the movie theater watching a movie, um, and he's like, "Oh shit, oh shit."
Something that's a little outdated. It is one of the stupidest bits I've seen, but like at the same time, it's genuinely genius. I just don't know like how anybody came up with that.
I was kind of hooked from the first scene, to be honest. I wasn't expecting because I'd heard a lot about it because I've heard Jonathan and Grug and Faces talk about it quite a lot because it came out a lot earlier for you guys. And I was assuming that I think Friendship kind of is more of an American type of funny.
yeah, definitely.
This is a Canadian type of funny.
I think this kind of translates better for me. I did still give Friendship an 8 out of 10, by the way. It's still very good. But yeah, I definitely like this a lot more. In terms of like, I gave this one a 9.
I've seen a lot of Matt Johnson's stuff. I think I've pretty much seen everything he's done except for The Dirties. And by everything, I mean like all of Nirvana the band, the show, the web series, and also the TV series. And I've seen Blackberry and Operation Avalanche as well. This is by far his like magnum opus. I don't think that's gonna change, honestly. um this is the blank check movie he wanted to do. Basically, his entire career has just been building to this. Yeah, something that's like specifically all of his movies except for I think Blackberry doesn't really dip into this, and I can tell Tony is not dipping into this like in any way. Yeah, that's right. He has another movie coming out in like a couple weeks, by the way. Um, but a lot of his other films have a lot of unscripted content. And that's kind of the whole appeal of especially the Nirvana TV show and this movie. They kind of mold he kind of molds his script around shit he finds in the wild. Like he'll just have a weird interaction with someone and it'll change the plot based on that.
Obama.
Obama! But yeah, you're gonna watch this film. You're gonna be a little confused about like what is just something that they did in the wild and what's something they scripted. It's kind of impressive, like how it blurs the line. Because the more I've read about it, there are things that I was completely shocked that they actually did. Like, I can't really say much of it, but like there was one thing that is like the way they shot it. I was like, okay, they easily faked that. And then they no, they actually did that. Like I really can't say this one because it's in the climax, but no, and the things they faked are so like they are so convincing because the visual effects are very subtle. But this is some of the best visual effect works of the year, honestly. There's like one shot near the beginning in particular that is just like the first time I watched it, I just thought they actually did what they did. When I slowed it down a little bit, I was able to see. I was like, "Oh, okay." But it is very convincing where it needs to be. But beyond that, it's just a hysterical movie. This used to be my favorite, and then like literally any other week on this podcast, I would have told you this was my favorite movie of the year, and then the Odyssey came out. So, um,
Yeah, I would recommend people. It's on digital in America, so anyone who hasn't watched it should probably just watch it now.
I definitely recommend like grab like gathering some people around to have what rowdy watch party for this one. This movie is incredible. You do not need to watch the show also. Let me make that clear. You do not at all need to watch the show.
But yeah, that's Nirvana the band, the show, the movie. Jonathan, what's your movie this week?
All right. So I kind of lost we did a coin toss, me and Faceless, to get the Odyssey. I lost it. So I didn't really have anything else to review except me, Faceless, and Grug yesterday watched Bottoms. This is like my fourth watch of this movie. It came out a few years ago, but this is one of the best comedy, like quite like Nirvana the band, the show, the movie. I'd say this is one of the best comedies of this decade. This movie out these two lesbian girls. All right, they are hated by their school because they are. Listen again. I'm not saying this. This is what gay, untalented, and ugly. They yeah, no, they say consistently, "Oh, they don't hate us because we're gay. They hate us because we're gay, untalented, and ugly." Yeah, fair warning. This movie has some like, you know how people make those claims about like, "Oh, people are so sensitive now. They're not. Movies are too afraid to go for a joke." This movie was like, okay. Yeah, this one doesn't really hold back. on some of the offensive humor, I would say. There are several jokes in this movie that will likely make you gasp, as you did not think a movie like this would have a joke like that. But it is one of the most consistent comedies I've ever seen. I feel like it is genuinely like at least a laugh per minute. It's probably more like 3 or 4. Like yeah, it's such a weird film for what the director was known for before doing this. So the director Emma Seligman, she did a pretty popular movie, Shiva Baby. That's like a I would consider that like kind of a typical like, indie dramedy kind of safety-esque.
Scrappy.
Yeah, scrappy. I don't think my prediction was that she would go on to essentially make a frat boy comedy. um,
Lesbian frat boy comedy.
Lesbian frat boy comedy, because this movie, I mean, there's no two ways to say it. This movie is about two girls who start a fight club so they can hook up with their crushes. Uh, and to be fair, I love when a movie that's basically just a single bullet point of what the plot actually is. This movie takes one of the most insane third act turns. It is fucking like you cannot predict it. It is fucking baffling when you realize what is actually happening. It is so funny. It is hysterical. I'm not gonna say it. I'm not gonna say it because I feel like it's pretty well loved. I don't think it's fully in its like cult classic state though, which it needs to be. This needs to be a fucking cult classic, unquestionably. It's just, and yeah, I think give it time, this will. The cast is really good. Rachel Sennett and Io Debris, they are both phenomenal as the leads. The standout, honestly, two of the standouts though, now that I think about it, there's really two. Nicholas Galitzine as Jeff. So Jeff is the himbo football player who dates Io's crush. And this movie, his role of Jeff is just so fucking funny to me that I really have not been able to unsee Nicholas Galitzine as anything but Jeff. Like, and keep in mind, this man is He-Man. This guy was He-Man in a 2.5 hour movie. Tentpole film. I still was just thinking of him as Jeff because unfortunately he's also kind of a himbo in that movie.
Shut up, nerd! I fucked your mom.
Shut up, nerd! I fucked your mom. The fucking star is like by far Marshawn Lynch as Mr. G. He is the washed teacher that they decide to get as the sponsor for the fight club, and he's going through a divorce and shit, and he doesn't really care about his class. We see one of his classes where he literally says, "The Holocaust, it happened. Yes, it did. Talk amongst yourselves while I do some reading." And then he pulls out a porno man. But and this man though completely steals every scene. I think this was his first role. I want to say it was, maybe not. This is his first pretty big role at least. Technically it wasn't. He did cameo in 80 for Brady, but he was playing himself. This is a completely different thing, obviously. There's a completely different set of skills required, and this man just steals the show entirely. I'm kind of in disbelief that this exists every time I watch it. It got a moderately wide release. I did have to drive an hour to go see this, but it's still kind of insane that this was unleashed upon the world. I'm very happy for it. I really want I don't think Emma Seligman has anything else in the works, but I really would like her to do something as unhinged as this. We need more movies like this. This is a masterpiece. This is 10 out of 10.
It's so cunty.
I fucking love this movie.
Oh, it's split in my solidarity.
I played the role of an amazing ally.
Moving on to our predictions for this week, we have. Let's go Faceless first this time.
Bottom of the top. Number 5, Hades Town, the musical, 3.5. 4, Minions and Monsters, 9.75 million. Number 3, Toy Story 5 with 10.2 million. Number 2 is Moana with 11.75 million. Number 1 is the Odyssey with 83 million.
Okay, Jonathan, what's your top 5 prediction?
Number 5, I am also going Hades Town with 3.6 million. I think this is obviously the biggest question mark. I think it has the juice to do it. I mean, I feel like it would only need like a. It's selling really well at my theater personally. I'm sure it's selling well at a lot of others. Yeah, I mean, everything else is just petering off to the point I think this will just kind of barely squeak in, you know. Minions 9.3. I'm going with. I'm going Toy Story at 10.8. Moana 11.5. Now, granted, I could see Toy Story passing Moana. I could. I don't think it's too far fetched. And I'm going the Odyssey at $80 million.
I have Hades Town at $3 million. So I've gone a bit different for the number 4. Number 4, I've put Moana at 8.97 million, down 50%. But I have Minions and Monsters over it, 9.52 million, down 30%. And Toy Story 5 at number 2, 10.32 million, 25% down from this weekend. I just think Moana is going to be petering off a lot faster than Toy Story and Minions. Yeah, I don't see it holding well, even in a nothing weekend. And then I'm going a bit lower on the Odyssey, but I could see it being higher. I just want to like lowball a little bit, I guess. 70.4 million, down 43%, which would be entirely respectable, by the way. Especially given like the 17.6 million of this weekend was like previews. So it's like that'll be an incredible drop. But yeah, so those are my predictions for this week. Those are all of our predictions for this week. That is our show for the week. I've been Dan. I've been joined by Jonathan
Bye.
and Faceless.
Still Faceless.
No face. You taken away.
No, just less.
Okay, goodbye.
Bye-bye.